Hi, it's Jackie of Gem, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the one and only James Charles palette. Now, you've probably seen a bunch of other beauty gurus use it, so I just wanted to give my perspective as a non-beauty guru, someone who is not a makeup artist or anything, just an everyday girl who loves makeup, about if this is a great palette for you or not. And I'll also be giving a little tutorial at the end of this eye look I did using the James Charles palette. So let's get started. Now the first thing I noticed when I bought this James Charles palette is, of course, all the colors that are involved in it. And me personally, I use mostly warm tones, goldy colors on my eyelids because that's what I think suits me better. So to me, going at this, it's a little bit intimidated to see all the colors and be like, what can I do with this? How can I use this? And how can I incorporate it into my everyday makeup look? So I played around with it, and you can definitely get an everyday makeup look out of this palette. Even if you just go like straight down right here, that's a makeup look for an everyday look. Up here, you could definitely, is more your everyday. Right here are your colors, of course. And for the everyday girl, I think that using these gradually will help you get more comfortable with colors. I personally like to use like these reds and orange to get me more comfortable with colors. I do go more towards also the pink and purples to help enhance my eyes, because purple is really good for brown eyes apparently. My concern was the blues and the greens and this yellow over here on this side, because growing up, blue was always like that color, like you do not wear blue eyeshadow ever because it's just not a good color. And that's what intimidated me at first of getting this. But like the thing says, unleash your inner artist. Just have fun with it to help widen your creativity. I'm not that creative with my eye makeup looks. I use gold on my lid, brown in my crease, and that's it. You know, I did want to create more makeup looks using a variety of colors. That's why I decided I did want this palette, because I originally wasn't gonna get it. I thought like this is not a palette for me. I do not do colors. I just stick to what I know, basically. And there were a lot of concerns with this palette. My mom was concerned because there is a label on the box that said that it's not safe for eyes and she doesn't want me to go blind. But the thing with that is that it's not really, as James assumed, common knowledge that pressed pigments are safe for eyes. They are technically not safe, but you can use it for those pops of colors. So if you get it in your eye, I don't think it'll cause any real damage. And I know that people were concerned about this one pink shade right here called Skip. And I did create James Charles look that he had on his box using that has that pink shade, and I did not find any problems with it at all. I find that they're really easy to blend. So if you're not that good of a blender, I know Edna tells me she's not good of a blender. I think even though these colorful eyeshadows seem like it takes a lot of time to blend them and it's going to be hard to work with them, they're really not that hard to work with. I find that they were easily blendable, and of course I do have some Morphe palettes that I use, and I find that Morphe in general is pretty user friendly. Same with this palette, including that. There are some things I didn't like about this palette though. One thing is the white and the black being so big. I wouldn't use this white that often, but I know a lot of makeup artists incorporate black a lot. So of course for him it's a staple, and also with the black I get intimidated by black, so I don't use black a lot. So this black wouldn't be used as frequently as like these darker browns that are right next to it. But of course I still would use it because I do use black every once in a while. Another thing is that the shades names come on this sheet. And that's something I wish for all Morphe palettes, that I wish that they print them on the actual packaging instead of having a little sheet. I know for the Jaclyn Hill palette that I got a little card that had the colors with it and everything, and that would be more easier to carry than to be concerned about this sheet and keep it in there, so I know which shade I need to use and what's the name of it, the shade, because I do have a plan with this palette in general to create looks on our channel with it. So I just would have found it more convenient if I had a smaller card that had the shadows names on there, or have it printed on the back instead of just having a clear sheet that goes inside of it. Another thing is, that's something with all Morphe palettes, of course, is that I don't think it's that travel friendly. I know James said that he hopes that people will travel with this. I would not travel with it, mostly because it is huge. And if you have like one of those 35 palettes, and I have my Jaclyn Hill palette here to compare to the size of it, it's considerably bigger than the Jaclyn Hill palette, and the Jaclyn Hill palette is the size of a regular 35 palette. And again, this one doesn't have I don't have the newer one that has the shades on the back. I know the newer one of Jaclyn Hill's does, and I wish they had that incorporated on here, so that way, again, I don't have to worry about the sheet. And of course, there's no mirror. There's never any mirror. I wish there was, but that will only bring prices up to incorporate a mirror in such a big palette like this. So all in all, there are some downsides to this, and there are also some pluses. If you're an everyday woman who knows nothing about makeup, doesn't really, just dabbles in it like me or my friends and I, it's a good palette. I wouldn't say it's a bad palette, because it's not. It's really easy to work with when you get the chance, and if you like this kind of, if you're curious about having these kind of colors, it's a good palette to have, because you do have some neutrals in here to help you ease yourself into using colors, which is what I plan on doing with this, is easing myself using more colors by just having like little pops of color every now and then. Like right now I have the blue eyeshadows, these two blue eyeshadows underneath my eyes, and to me that's like incorporating a pop of color, so I could be more comfortable using these kind of shadows on my eyes in everyday wear. And I also really love this shade. I think it's, what is this called? It's called Face. It's a really pretty color. See, it's a nice champagne-y color, and I've used it as a highlight too. This is supposed to be like the highlight, but I prefer this one instead, and I'm happy it's in a bigger shade, because I would use this, I'm planning on using this a lot, not just on my eyes, but as a highlighting shade. And on the shimmers, I do find a little bit of fallout, but I find that on all of the shimmers. Not so much on the mattes. I don't find much fallout on those. I do recommend this for people who aren't into colors and want to be into colors. But if you don't want to buy Morphe or support James, or just don't want this big of a palette and spend $40 on this palette, then there are some cheaper options. Like I know NYX has a good palette that is all colors. I know e.l.f. has some that have like a bunch of colors in there. I think Wet n Wild does. And if you want a cheaper alternative, buy like a smaller like drugstore palette that has pops of color, so that way it could ease you into it. But if you want to support James and you're interested in this palette, it's a good palette to have. It really is. It's just really big. That's my thing. It's really big. It's hard to store for me. I have like little shelves where I put all my makeup, and I had to maneuver my eyeshadow shelf around a lot so I could try to fit this one in there, because I did assume it was going to be as big as this, and these fit fine in there, but it was not the same size. It is a little bit thinner than that though, if you look. Ow. If you look, it is a bit thinner than the Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't know if the new one is as thin as this one. I have one of the first press ones. Final thoughts is, it's a good palette. They're easy to work with, easy to blend. You could create everyday looks with it, and you could also incorporate your colors, whatever color you want, because it does have like the complete rainbow in here. I find it was safe for my eyes. I have sensitive skin. I had no problems with it. Not that easy to travel with. I would prefer to take a different palette unless I really need colors in my look when I travel. Then I would not travel with this. It's really pretty. I think it's pretty. I like black. So for the everyday girl, I think it's a nice palette to have for colors. If you have no colors in your eyeshadow palettes, or you only want to invest in one big palette that will have everything you need, it's a good palette. And of course I'm referring back to this Jaclyn Hill palette because I really like it. This one also has like pops of colors. That would be a good color palette option for you too if you don't want to buy all those colors. You have like these warm-ish colors, and then you have these pops of colors. It's a really nice option if you want the Jaclyn Hill palette. But if you want more colors, more variety, James Charles is the way to go. And even if you don't like James, it's a nice palette to have. It's really well done. I congratulate him on his palette. It's very well done. I am happy he came out with a palette that makeup artists like him can use, and only use one palette to create a lot of looks. And that's a really big thing, because I know that for makeup artists, they have to go through many palettes to find the look that they want, have different palettes to find the color, the right color. And this one has a nice variety with the colors and with the neutrals that will help blend them out and help ease everything together. Well done palette. You could definitely get it for cheaper than $40. Of course, James has his codes. Other people have their codes on Morphe's site. Ulta, you could use your points if you're an Ulta member. You could use your points against it. I know I get 20% off like all brands at some points coupon, those kind of coupons. So if you use the coupon and then use your points, you could definitely save quite a bit on this palette too. So just fine. Well, fine. Great. Works great for you. You go through Morphe, use somebody's code, or you could go through Ulta, use your own points. And like James said, unleash your inner artist with this palette. It's a beautiful palette to work with colors. It's well done. Okay, everyone, that was my review on the Morphe X James Charles palette. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like these kind of videos, make sure you thumbs up this video. And if you want to see more content from me, Marlen, and Edna, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!